and we will give you the platform. Trust me.
You will.
Now, what I don't want is if we do say something, you want to pull up like I'm at a Wizards game, and I got a feeling Wale might have to say some words to me. But if I'm at a Wizards game, and now you just want to step to me like LeBron James, I don't know. I ain't got as much money as Stephen A, so it might go a different way. I'm just saying. But some people say give him a reason. And we have Reason A. Smith. I mean, LeBron approaching Stephen A. I think it was about right around the end of the fourth quarter, going heading into overtime. I heard he was in the huddle, and LeBron said right before the game started, I have to say some things. And he approached Stephen A. on the sideline. I mean, we got the video up. There were some words that we can't play on FCC Airways, but if you're on Twitter or TikTok, yeah. They called a timeout. That's all I'm saying.
It's cut the sound off.
But all I was gonna say is if you on Twitter or if you on Twitter, X, TikTok, any of those, you probably already seen what the lip readers have already said. But words come back that he was basically approaching him about something that Stephen A. had to say about his son. Now that video we can actually play with the sound on.
I got you.
So now I just had to let everybody see. Oh,
what these numbers mean?
You
know what it's gonna do to your son, to people who are missing out on opportunities, that are busting their tail on other NBA teams in the G League, in Europe, and everywhere else, what kind of opportunity they're starving for. You're exposing your son like this? I'm simply saying, to have that moment on game one of the NBA season is one thing. To propel it to a point where he's on the bench, he's in uniform, he's taking up a roster spot, and now you're giving him time in the first quarter, and you see the absence of
production. That's what he said, the absence of production. Now, these words are just a little bit. We gave you a little bit of it because you already know. If you want to go watch the 10-minute version, you can go to First Takes YouTube and find it there. But this is a little bit of what had LeBron James step to Stephen A. And like I said, like Joe said earlier, we're all fathers here. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to let you start it off, Joe. What was your reaction when you seen this? You got to stop doing that, man.
you having too many old man moments, Joe.
I'm just saying.
I'm messing up the flow. Hey, Tom, before I get my reaction, you got about a few people you got to worry about. Wale,
Bradley Bill,
Graham, and Bradley Bill.
You right.
And then Dave, you got to worry about that quarterback from the Saints. I forgot his name already. Taysom Hill.
Taysom Hill. He ain't no quarterback. He a tight end. That's what he is.
I'm gonna stop because I was gonna say I can give my it's not like I got a group chasing me.
They double down though. I'm sorry.
He is a tight end though.
He is a tight end. That's
okay.
And Wale is a curse to DC teams. I'm just saying, bro. You seen it.
Just speaking facts. That's it. That's all.
All right.
Get yourself together, man.
All right, man. So look, I have two perspectives. I heard what Stephen A. Smith said, and ain't gonna lie. I don't say there's a lot, but I agree with 100% what Stephen A. said this morning. As a father, I get LeBron. Feel me? I mean, I can only imagine if I'm criticizing somebody's son, if I'm older than the father of the son that I'm criticizing. So paint that picture. Stephen A. is going on, he's in his 50s. LeBron just turned 40 something. So Stephen A. is 10 plus years older than LeBron, and he's criticizing his son. So LeBron walks up to him and approach him like with a bothered face. And I can tell, when Stephen talked this morning, I know he was like, dang, like, I feel him as a father. You know what I mean? Like, I feel him. But I ain't gonna lie, man. And sports media, I mean, it's what it comes with. I'm sorry. I mean, at the end of the day, I said this before. The reason why athletes get paid the money they get paid today versus when the older guys play is mainly because of the media. The attention the media brings to the sport. You gotta realize that the media, like all these talk shows, all these show, like all the stuff that just talk about sports all day, it brings attention to the sport, meaning more money is coming to the sport. So when you sign that deal, kind of like us, Tom on Dave, I had to come to a realization, really, because we got IG chats and all that stuff, right? I had an epiphany one night, and I said, dang, we just like the athletes. We get on and we talk, and people are going to criticize and talk about you no matter what you say. You could say something and you meant no harm, but they will label you like you actually hate somebody, or they'll label like you actually dislike somebody. And then I remember one day I caught myself trying to explain myself, and I had a snap. I'm like, why am I explaining myself? That's like me being a basketball player, and I'm trying to sit and talk to a heckler in the crowd, like trying to explain myself to a heckler. Why? He's gonna be a heckler regardless. Like that's how it is. So it comes with it. So when I say, you know what, I don't want to do refuse to lose, I gotta realize there's gonna be some people hating. Dave, I think you were there. I think you were there. Early on, I was doing refuse to lose. So Dave was the first person that ever was a guest on refuse to lose, by the way. All right. So I interviewed Dave. I was my man Daryl House. And then I think that same night or night after, I made a video about Dame Lillard. Right? I went crazy. I was like, dang this. I was going crazy. My man was just sitting there the whole time, right? Soon I was done, he was like, you gonna put that out? Like, you gonna put that out? I'm like, yeah, what's wrong with that? He was like, what if Dame roll up on you and like, what's up? I'm like, I mean, I guess that's part of it. Like, I was like, that's part of it. I just gotta deal with it. I mean, that's what it is, you know? So that's why when LeBron approached Stephen A, yes, but if I'm Bronny, I'm like, Dad, chill. Like, I'm good. If I'm Bronny, I'm like, Dad, I got this. You embarrassing. Imagine like people mess with you at school, and your dad walk up and you're like, Dad, you embarrassing me. Chill, bro. I got this. So, like once again, I understand how LeBron feel as a father, but I do think that like, yo, like you know the deal. Like this is why. And then he the same way I came out and said Bron is better than a lot of these dudes. Like you said all this stuff, and you kind of put a little target on his back. Not as much as LeVar did. Remember LeVar was crazy. But you put a little target. So imagine LeVar is like, yo, leave my son alone. You're like, bro, you say it'll be better than Steph Curry. You know? So that's my only thing about it is, bro, this is part of the media. This is what comes with being an athlete.
And Joe, you said something perfect there because I was going to bring up the LeVar Ball situation. Because what happened as soon as he got in the league? John Wall, Steph Curry, everybody that he called out, they tried to play their best game.
Pat Bev.
Man, they all was like, well, your daddy said you was going to be this, so we going to make sure you that. And he was like, hey, bro, I just want to hoop. But he ain't back down from it. I'm going to give him that. He ain't back down from it. He got so bad. John Wall tried to go for 50 when he played him. I was like, hey, bro, we not that team, but I see what you're trying to do here. I get it. Steph was like, I'm going to drop buckets on you. The one person that always had his number was your guy, was Fox, which was funny, though, I guess, coming from college. But again, he coming back, so that's why Joe got the jersey on. For me, though, LeBron, you already know what it was going to be. It's just the fact that you playing. Like, remember when MJ's son was trying to come to the league and everybody was like, man, is he going to be like his daddy? Is he going to be like this? Is he going to be that? Granted, MJ didn't say half the things that you said. I mean, you did put the tweet out there that Bronny was better than half of the players in the league. That right there, you're a big figure. So you already put the target on his back. The way that he got drafted by the team, granted, this is what you work for. You want to make sure that you open up the doors for your kids because it's like, hey, if I'm doing, let's say, well, I'm not even going to say let's say, when R2L gets big, if my kids want to come work for R2L, you got a job. Like, that's just what it's going to be. Now, if you get here and you bad, I'm going to have to fire you. That's the difference, though. Like, I'm not just going to let you be here because you're my youngin'. I'm going to try to give you I might give you a little bit of extra effort, but other than that, nah. So the nepotism as far as that part is cool. But again, you're in a competition league. So just like being on air, let's say one of our kids come on here and they start slumming it and the comments start going crazy. I ain't gonna pick the mic up for him and be like, hey, bro, y'all gotta stop leaving him alone. I'm like, nah, this is the pressure. You have to learn from this. LeBron, you did. You came straight out of high school. You ain't had nobody to show you how to go left or right. You had to learn from your mistakes. But you are his father. You're there, but you can't help him in every single situation. So you step into Stephen A. going off of the comments that he said here. If just going off of the video that we just showed, to me, he said nothing wrong. It was just that it was a public situation, but y'all don't have the best relationship for him to pick up the phone and call you and tell you, like, hey, bro, you did this. Like, granted, opening night, he can be there. But other than that, Bronny needs to be in the G League. He was not ready to be in the NBA. Everyone knew it. The scouts knew it. JJ Redick probably told you this, but you didn't want to hear it. And then the production in the real game, in the NBA, doesn't match what he's doing in the G League because clearly the competition is a different level. He's averaging, he can get 30 in the G League. We've seen him do it. But when he come out here and he playing against the big boys, it's a different game. That's all I'm saying. I appreciate him standing up for his son. You got to do it. But again, there's a time and place for everything. And you already knew what that was. So a lot of people who don't like LeBron looked at him like, there you go, making it all about him again. Stepping to Stephen A. Like, what are you going to do now? Because we know you're not going to hit him. We know you're not going to go that far. So as a parent, I see where you're going. But again, you showing a different precedent of how you could have went about that. Because it's Stephen A. All you're going to do is he did exactly what you did. You gave him another moment. He went right on air and talked about it for about 15 minutes. You gave him another moment. So, LeBron, you put the target on Bronny back. But I'm not mad at you for how you did it. I'm mad at you for how you did it. I'm not mad at you for why you did it. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, y'all pretty much said what I was pretty much thinking the entire time. LeBron, you sent out the tweet that said that Bronny was better than half the players in the league. I'm sorry. I watched him in high school. He wasn't better than half the players in the league during that time. He's not better than half the players in the league right now, and he's in the league. He's in the G League. You know, there are some players in the G League that are balling right now that don't belong in the NBA. For example, Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas came back in the first game. He put up 40 in the G League, but he can't last a game. I don't even know if he could put up 20 in the NBA game right now. Maybe even 15. I don't know. He has not been consistent when he got back to the NBA. He's been trying to get back in the NBA for a while. And this guy was actually an all-star. He actually balled out. We saw what he did with Boston. And your son, who barely played in college, due to, we know exactly what happened, but we know why he wasn't able to play. But even with that being said, what you should have done was just allow him to go to the G League. If you was going to bring him to the NBA, you could have just allowed him to go to the G League because there are plenty of players that go undrafted that go straight to the G League. You could have did that. I'm almost certain that there are other players in that draft that could be playing right now. Josh Christopher, who plays for Miami, he balled out in the summer league, balled out in the G League, and now he's getting his opportunity in the NBA. And you can see that he can actually contribute to an NBA team. So that's the issue here. Now, Stephen A., did he attack LeBron personally? No. What's the point of you going up to his face? He didn't attack Bronny personally. He didn't say he was a bad person, that he didn't deserve an opportunity to be in the G League or anything like that. He just said that he's taking a roster spot for someone else that's probably did better than what he did, that can probably handle the competition a lot better than him. Bronny has not, since he got his situation with his heart, when he collapsed on the court, we have not seen him really play anything since then. We got to think about that. You allow him to come back after not really doing much in college basketball. Some people like to, I don't know if y'all remember this, but remember when Kyrie Irving was drafted? He didn't play that many games in college basketball, but you saw what he was capable of. You could see it. It was clear as day he was the number 1 overall pick. Bronny, you didn't see anything that said that he belonged in the NBA during that time. You didn't see not one lick of anything. He didn't have a shot that you could say that, you know what, that right there, he's like, you can't say he's a great 3-point shooter. You can't say he's a great driver to the basketball. You couldn't say that he was a great defender because he was none of those things in college. Now he had some traits to where it could possibly develop into that, but keyword develop. He wasn't ready to be in the NBA during that time. And that's all Stephen A is saying is that you have other guys that are more ready to be on the roster than him. And the moment for the first game is great because it's the first time we've ever seen in the NBA that we have a father and a son playing on the same basketball team. So yes, it's awesome for the moment to happen in the first game in the NBA, but to have him on the roster and not even on the roster, Bronny wasn't even playing in away games in the G League at first when it first started. He was only playing at home games. So he was the only person I know who was on the NBA roster who got drafted in the second round, who only played in home games in the G League and got to travel with the team away. Like, come on, that's special attention for someone who doesn't deserve it because of their play. Now, you're LeBron James, so I get why Bronny gets all this stuff because you're LeBron James. We know you've been in the GOAT conversation. You're the face of the NBA. We see that. But Bron, you also know that this comes with the territory, like Joe said. He's going to get criticized. He plays in the league. It's going to happen. Bron, you do it yourself. You criticize other players. You did it when you put out that tweet about your son.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it ain't fun when the rabbit got the gun. Sorry.
Hey, all right. I know we gotta go to the next topic. For first, Tomo, you said like your kids want to do all too well and stuff, right? J-Mo already told me. He said, "Hey Joe, when Isaiah, his twins, Isaiah and Caleb, when they announce what college they going to, they gonna go announcing all too well." He already told me ahead of time. All right, he already told me ahead of time. But I want to address this comment real quick. Shout out to my man David Burns, always on a committed fan on the other show. We appreciate you a lot. Definitely do. If you got YouTube, if you could, my brother, watch this on YouTube if you could. But if you don't have YouTube, keep doing it on Facebook. We appreciate you. But look, my man from Cedar Hill, LeBron is just being protective of his son. Some people say he shouldn't play sports then. What 55th pick gets a 20-minute segment of criticism? They do it for clicks. He doesn't want his son used for ratings like they did him. At least he was the number one pick. Dudes built whole careers of hating on LeBron. Now they're trying to extend the gravy train by covering his son. I think Skip is the only one that made their career over LeBron. But I got to address that. When who got the most coverage in the NBA draft?
Bronny.
I mean, second round, 55th pick in the draft, and they talked about Bronny more than anybody. Not negatively, positively. Talked about Bronny the whole time. He got the most coverage in the NBA draft. Opening night, who got the most coverage?
Bronny.
When Bronny scored his first point, who got the most coverage? Everything Bronny does was celebrated. It was celebrated. So we can't say because he gets criticism is that's all they do. Like you can't have your cake and eat it too. The people who normally get a lot of criticism when things don't go their way, they get a. I gave Patrick Mahomes 90% of the blame for the Super Bowl. 90%. It wasn't all his fault. But guess what? If he would have won, like Tom was saying in the same segment, he would have got all the credit. So that's how it works in the sports media. So we have to be reasonable. We got to be sober-minded when people say stuff. We can't forget the past, have amnesia when people say stuff. When Stephen A said what he said, we can't forget the part that they had highlights on SportsCenter when he hit his first bucket. And we understand because it's history, it's LeBron, his dad, all that stuff. But that LeBron is dead, so he's gonna get a lot of praise and get a lot of criticism. That's part of it. And we even said that we said it all too well. That LeBron gonna be criticized a lot. We said that. So
we knew that was coming.
Yeah, I knew it was coming too.
I thought you was about to respond to that. That's your facial expression.
Oh no, I thought it was another one. I ain't got the comments, so I thought it was something else coming up. But that was
But
well
shout out to
said.
you. But shout out to you, David Bryan. Shout out to you though. Go to YouTube though if you could.
I mean, this is a great transition because it's